is just like a floor, right, in your house. I want it to be perfect. You don't have to put a covering on it if you don't want to. And I believe if you do that from the foundation, the people that build their different trades, contractors above this will have a general idea, simply because the foundation itself actually, you know, is so taken care of and finished well that they should be clean and very, very precise in the way that they build this home. So it's just kind of like a process that you hope people will follow, you know. This is my life right here, right? This is everybody's life. We have a start, we have a foundation. If this thing is cracked, the cracks will continue. So it's important to be honest with yourself always and have a strong foundation. Remember when you wanted it all, and I don't care now, whiskey women or a beer drinking man. When I say give me another, go ahead and take my hand.
So camera's rolling whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm good.
Hello guys, Mike Easter here, founder and creator.
Camera is rolling.
Hello guys, Mike Easter here, founder and owner of RO8investment.com. Sure.
And action.
Hello guys, Mike Easter here, founder and owner of RO8 Investments. Getting started in real estate, it may not be the easiest thing for many. Fear may be your biggest obstacle. But that's where all the activity happens. That's where your dreams are made. Today, hello guys, Mike Easter here, founder and owner of RO8investments.com. See, 4 years ago when I started flipping houses, my biggest fear was fear itself. Don't let fear stand in front of you today. Go out and get what you deserve. It's waiting for you. This is a house that goes back to 1958. It has a lot of history behind this home. And this is just one of my companies that I perform with. And what we do is we specialize in finding houses that are older, need a little bit of TLC, and put them back on the market and give them, you know, the necessary updates. Basically, the skeletons of the house are still there. The insides are a little bit dated. So just trying to update it, you know, and make houses affordable for more people instead of having to go out and have to buy, say, a brand new home. Just give it a cosmetic beauty. It's the devil in the details, man. That is what matters. So the little things that we have to get to make the house pop. First impression. Every branch, every snip makes a difference. Little difference right here. Difference between great and extraordinary. It's never crowded when you go the extra mile. You know, one thing led to another, and I just started buying real estate. I bought real estate at 19 years old. I bought a piece of raw land. You know, I've been doing that a few times. I've developed some property, sold it after a few years, and I just like doing it. You know, it's fun, like I said, just to transform, you know, one thing into another, and you know, and making something that is dead come alive again. Give it some character, give it some life. And I knew that whenever I could put my mind to something, I knew I could conquer it just with persistence and with determination, never giving up. I knew I was going to be able to make it. So at 13 or 12 or 13, I want to say it was about 12, we were mowing grass outside, and I took the lawnmower away from my dad, and he's like, no, the blade this. My mom was freaking out, and I was like, you know what, hey, you know, I'll go put on boots, whatever you got to do, but I want to mow the yard. So then it went into landscaping. After I mowed 1 yard, I was a professional landscaper. So I made, you know, door hangers and the whole 9 yards, and Easter landscaping started, and I did that for years and whatnot. I got around some people that were selling drugs, and I realized that this is what I do. Is I take something, I sell it by my work, and then I make money. So I got introduced to selling marijuana at 15, and I was actually selling grass and cutting it. And you know, that was it was something that I wanted to get away from. It was addicting. It's a drug in itself, man. Got into ecstasy. I was on a federal indictment charge for conspiracy to manufacture ecstasy. Got busted with 600 pills of ecstasy selling to an undercover agent, federal agent. Did 8 years deferred adjudications. I was on probation for 8 years. I'd been on probation prior for that, for other troubles, just assaults and whatnot, on just being a kid and fighting in bars. But I was on probation for 8 years, man, and being owned by the judicial system is not fun. Once you're in the system, it's hard to get out. So I knew I needed to make a change, you know, and I had no choice. I continued to make mistakes, you know, and I couldn't understand it, you know, why I would make those same mistakes, why I would make those same choices that would put me back in the same very spot that I said that I would never, ever, ever return to. Why, you know, why can't there be an answer? Why can't there be a solution? Why does there have to be the ups and downs? The past 10 years I've been medicating myself, 12 years I've been medicating myself with drugs and alcohol. Not caring, because I didn't think I was gonna live to be 30. Didn't think I was gonna live to be married. Didn't think I was gonna live to see a kid. I was reckless. My life was just reckless. And I was going everywhere, 250 miles an hour. At 18, I was placed into a mental hospital for mental illness because anxiety kicked in. It was a time where life became so surreal, so fast. And being misdiagnosed with, you know, with a chemical imbalance, an anxiety disorder that I never knew that I had. I had always had the anxiety disorder, but I was never diagnosed. When they put me on that medication in the hospital, I felt like I was in there with a bunch of zombies. I really did, man, and it was sad. So sad to see people run for meds, because that's like what they were craving. And at 18 years old, I was petrified, man. I was petrified. I was wondering if there was ever an end to what these people were experiencing. You're always gonna live with this. It's never just gonna go away. Any medicine they give you that you're just gonna get immune to it, and you're just gonna move on, and there's gonna be something that just doesn't work. So I had a loss of hope. I can look back and tell you how many times I thought it'd be better just to be dead. How easy it would be. The feelings I wouldn't feel anymore. And to the people out there that have some kind of mental illness, when you're in a bad shape, or you're in a bad way of thinking, when your mind isn't where it needs to be, because whatever in your mind is telling you to think that way, there's nothing that you can do. Your brain is so powerful. My mother's an angel. But what she did is she introduced me to a doctor.
Hi, my name is Dr. Bernice Gonzalez, and I am a family medicine physician but I'm also board certified through the American Academy of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine. I consider myself a functional medicine or an integrative doctor. And for those of you who might not understand those terms, to put it plainly, it's taking traditional medicine and mirroring it with holistic medicine and integrating the two for what I believe are the best outcomes for our patients. And about 10 years ago, Mike Easter walked into my clinic with a whole slew of medical concerns. And I had the opportunity to evaluate him, to look at his entire past medical history. And I felt that using some of the tools that we use in functional medicine, such as checking a neurotransmitter or brain hormone levels, would be very helpful in identifying what might be the best treatment course for Mike.
She introduced me to what's called a neurotransmitter test. She explained to me that the simplicity of a chemical imbalance can be so much as a urine test for your neurotransmitters and then a blood test for your testosterone and your estrogen level. And if the two don't hit, that's like a spark plug missing. The car's not going to start.
Well, in medicine and within our bodies, our body constantly works and it functions based on messages that it receives. And these messages are often given by hormones or brain hormones, which we call neurotransmitters. And in regular medicine, a lot of times this type of lab is not used, but it was very helpful information to help guide the treatment for Mike. We took a sample of urine and we sent it to the lab, and the lab gave us a result or an idea of what the levels were of his neurotransmitters or his brain hormones, those hormones that are necessary to keep the body balanced, especially from a mood standpoint. And I used that data to help find the best treatment and the best medication for him.
But I tell you what, those 2 to 3 weeks that I had to wait to find out what was going on with every single one of my neurotransmitters, you know, my norepinephrine, my epinephrine, my dopamine, my serotonin, you know, you name it. I mean, every single one of your neurotransmitters, to tell you which one's low, which one to tell you what's optimal, which one to tell you is high, based on your current brain patterns at the moment, you know, what you're actually living. That's science, you know, that is facts, that's statistical data, and it dates back to the 40s, 30s, and I don't know why more people don't know about this, because within 3 days of me getting my results back, one, my testosterone level was sitting at an 88. In 3 days from her diagnosis, she said, you know, the medicine that you're taking, Paxil, doesn't even affect the neurotransmitter that you're low on the most. That was the most disgusting news that I could ever hear. But it was also the best, because I knew there was hope. 3 days later, the skies were blue. The grass was green, man. The chirping of the birds was so surreal. The entrepreneurial spirit that I've had all my life, man, I wanted to start new businesses. I wanted to go out and I wanted to just I just wanted to conquer everything. Just your attitude on life when you live one with quality is just incredible. I was diagnosed again with severe mental anxiety. When I do anything, I do it, like I said, all in. So I wanted to know everything about it that I could possibly know. I referred many people to her. I've gotten texts from 40-year-old, 50-year-old men saying, Mike, thank you. I did what you said. I did the exact things that you told me to do that helped you get your life back on track. For the first time in 20 years, I was able to sleep through the night. Man, when you get a text message like that, it's amazing. You know, it makes you feel so good. You get the goosebumps. I mean, it's so fascinating to be able to help somebody else that is experiencing the same thing that you are. The same individual I knew, I bought my first machine from him when I was a younger kid, and he always knew about my condition because I talked about it openly. I never had a problem talking about my condition because I wanted people to understand who I was. You know, I wasn't a monster. You know, I wasn't that guy that people portrayed me to be. I had a good heart. All these people, the school shootings, all the, you know, just like the other day, there's a root behind every problem, all the violence. But as far as, there's going to be violence no matter what, right? Because that's just the creation of just the difference of mankind. But mental illness has a root, and right now is what they do is they treat the symptoms. They don't treat the cause. They don't treat the disease. But what about the people when they go into a theater, they shoot 33 people? How many does that compound, and how many does that affect? How long does that have to go in America? How long does it have to go on for before somebody stands up and just says, yeah, we're fixing it, but then the next week something else happens? You know? It's like 3 days ago, just because they're mad at some cops and they're mad at some reporters, and a guy just goes AWOL on them. There was a cause behind that. He didn't just go up and just shoot. There's a cause behind that. And I guarantee you, if it stems back to it, because I don't like the news, a lot of it, simply because a lot of it is negative, you know? But you know what? I guarantee you mental illness had something to back into that. And if they would have caught it and diagnosed it and maybe just did something to help that guy, that could have just saved many people atrocities. So. I'll lose my head if it wasn't attached.
I think what people don't realize is that we actually have a crisis in mental health. Unfortunately, in traditional medicine, a lot of patients are left out there to suffer and to struggle with these health issues. Unfortunately, in traditional medicine, patients are often labeled with a diagnosis and then given a drug to treat the diagnosis without any type of blood testing or evaluation to help guide them. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for a lot of folks that have been struggling with the ups and downs of life and who have felt out of balance. And the message that I would like to give is that there is hope, and there are tests that are available today that are considered advanced tests, but that will help guide your therapy. There are ways that we can check these hormones and get these hormones balanced, so that way your life does not feel out of kilter per se.
There's a reason for everything, man. You know what? And I believe it's part of the purpose, you know? I believe the good man has put me doing this and slaving for myself and doing what I do for a reason. Throughout the ups and downs, all my life, and roller coasters, mostly self-induced, nobody's fault but my own. I've always managed to persevere, thankfully. So, my first business loan that I ever got, business and loan and only one that I've ever gotten, was for $5,000. I got arrested the next week. My bail was $50,000, which is a $5,000 bond, and there went my loan within 3 days. And so yeah, that's how my first business loan went, in and out. So horrible. I can laugh now, man, nothing to be proud of. This work is so deep as far as and on the, I mean, you're 1 minute you're here, the next minute you're there. You know, I could get a call within 5 minutes and say, hey man, we got a concrete pour in the morning at 3 o'clock. That means I got to be up at 1:30, 2 in the morning, making sure the radar's good. My dream would be just turn the freaking phone off, just escape. You know, it's like those people say, you know, they're I see you grinding to be seen on social media, but hell, I'm grinding to disappear. You know, that's what I'm doing. life is good, getting better. Thank God, man. I just closed on a deal yesterday. Like a 50 pack of houses, foundations for a builder, man. So that'll be a good deal. Very blessed, man. Thank God. Thank the Lord. What better than putting the healing rosary right there in front of me, man? I can stare at it every single day, because believe me, I need it. So, kind of in my little dome right here, man, I'm protected, hopefully, you know, so it's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Guardian angel deal. My mom actually put this thing in here for me without even me knowing. So I was like, wow, man. So it wasn't that the guardian angel only was taking us taking care of me, man. I was like, my mom was definitely looking after me too, you know. So we went to this bar, and I knew that I knew I couldn't drive. I was like, well, I'll just come up the street. My mom lives a couple miles away. I didn't get but a mile down the road, and tried to get with some Tupac on the iPod rather. And when I did that, I was right on the curve. It's windy out there towards my mom's house in the hill country. And next thing you know, when I overcorrected on that curve, and when I did, I ended up the truck ended up upside down. And at that point, I just remember hitting something very hard, and I blacked out, and that was it. When I came to, I was laying about 80 feet from my truck. They thought I was actually dead. I mean, it's amazing. If you just look at the pictures, you like wonder the same thing I'm gonna wonder. How did he make it out of there? And you know, the window was bashed in, this side was smashed down, and the only thing that was down was this window, and it was down only about this far. And so that is the only exit out of this vehicle, and somehow I propelled out that window and ended up 80 feet down the road. I've always been told, man, you have a guardian angel over your head, and you don't have one, you have about 500. And you know, I can't disagree with anybody on that. You know, I've made stupid choices repeatedly, one after another after another. We passed. You have to blow in this thing to start your vehicle, and it has to pass, of course. You can't have a fail. And then all throughout the day, while the truck is on entirely, even if you're parked, it doesn't even matter. This thing will go off. My bad, sir. Apologize for that. Yes, sir. All right, go ahead, bud. What is Easter concrete, right? What are we gonna do to differentiate ourselves from all the others in my ballpark, right? What are we gonna do that's gonna make us stand out so good to where they're gonna want to use us? Now, we don't want everybody. We want the quality, right?
On top of the price. So,
5 max 7 days done.
Yep.
So I'll throw these numbers together. Give me, what time is it, 2:15? Give me max 30 minutes. I'll call you right back. I gotta keep going. Gotta keep working. Blessed, man. This thing had it for 16 months, man. And I completed this drug and alcohol program. I just got my certificate, so I'm real excited, man. It's gonna be weird driving a truck without this thing on it. So, but definitely will remember that. Hey, man, you can't let it get you down. You gotta get up, punch out stronger, and grind harder. Let's get it. Woo! Every single time that I've been to jail, every time, alcohol's been involved. And I'd been told that my entire life, right? But I didn't want to hear it. Or I heard it, but I ignored it to a certain degree that I kept telling myself that it's not a big deal. I got it under control. I go to work. I still provide. I still support the family, and others, and I got it under control. I got it with. It's not a problem. It's just bad luck. Nah, it's not bad luck. It created a lot of problems for me. A lot, But hindsight 2020, man, I'm glad it created all those problems for me. I am. Because fortunately, all the problems that it created for me, it's given me a testimony that you can't say, oh, I've been through this or I've been through that. I've been loaded down with classes, probation, money problems, financial, it's just all the crap, and I can't do anything. I can't make it in life. I can't, a record, this, that, and the other. Man, I'm living proof of someone that has the shittiest record, man. That I wouldn't be able to get hired at McDonald's, man, if I wouldn't put an application in. I mean, I wouldn't. I can't put my name on an application if I to rent an apartment, do anything. It's a liability issue, man. They look at me as being a dangerous individual, and that's sad, man. That that's something that I constantly try to keep blocking out and whatnot, because that's sad, man. I know who I am, and fortunately, so many people know who I am in a sober state of mind. And thankfully for all those people that never left me, they gave me just enough courage to keep going. They gave me just enough hope, enough promise that I am still worth something. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it. It took me a couple years. People say you'll get over it. You'll get over it, man. At that last go around, I thought I was sunk, man. I thought I was sunk. Things that happened to me that had never happened to me in my life, and I didn't know the way out. You can lie to everybody. You can lie to anybody. You can lie to the people that know you the best, the people that don't know you at all. But the only person you're fooling is yourself.
What does this one mean?
The dragon?
Yeah.
Protection.
Oh, that's nice.
There's a higher power that looks after us all, right? So, so that's where I wanted to put you in the cross. Why? Because if Daddy could never hold you or get you and take care of you, we knew that God would always have you, right? And lead you hopefully in the right direction. Well, this is the roots of your life right here, right? The roots of a tree. So it's the roots of his life, but then it sprouts into what? A tree trunk with age, with a knot. You see it? So it's grown into what? Growing into the Lord, having faith. Look, this is your Sagittarius symbol, right? You're born in December. That's a key to your heart. See the keyhole? Yeah. The keyhole. This is a storm, lightning, with clouds behind it, showing darkness, right? Going through what? The dragon? Giving it power for protection to look out after you.
Nice.
Coming out of the water. See that? Coming out of the water. Going into a koi. Koi stands for prosperity, right? To which you can prosper. That's your mural of your face when you were 3 years old. And some pics that Mom and I got taken. So I have every freaking piece of ink on this arm is completed for you. So if I ever have a bad day, all I have to do is this. And you're right there with me. And you know what? No one can ever take that away from me either. And when they try, they take it off, whoops.
It feels good because it's a way for my dad to show his love. But I'll probably never get a tattoo. Love you so much. You're one of a kind. I'm happy I have a dad like you. You and my mom mean the world to me. Love you so much. From River. Candy cane, cookie, heart. Best dad ever. Most extraordinary dad ever.
Hold on a second. 10% equals that. What was the square footage on this house? Are you sure it's 2232?
The square footage?
Yeah. Yeah, River got me this this turtle here, so I keep that here when I work. When I'm working, I keep it right here. So when I have bad days and I'm talking, stressed out shit, I like this. I just able to look at it. It's my vision piece to remember what I'm doing it for. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on the way to sign my divorce papers. Something I've never thought I would have to do. I know with 100% doubt that this is the right thing. It's not like I just gave up. I separated 5 different times. I never quit in anything that I do. We were able to come to an amicable decision for our son River, who is both of our everything. And that's what it's all about. It's not about us fighting. If it doesn't work out for both parties, the best ultimate outcome is for both to leave happy. Although we have a child together, ultimately he's going to be happier if he sees happiness instead of brokenness inside the home. So I have to respect that and understand that as a man, because that's an innocent child. New chapter. Simply turn the page. I hurt when I wake up. I hurt during the day. I try to stay positive every single freaking minute of the day. If wrong is wrong, prosecute me. But don't take my freaking son away from me. I've done nothing but be a hell of a father to that kid. You couldn't take my son and ask him if I'm bad, if I'm wrong. He loves his dad. He loves his fishing adventures. He loves his different deals. He loves hunting adventures. He loves that I take him to do this and I take him to do that. My options are held without bond, and or best case scenario, post a $250,000 bond, $250,000, and ankle monitor restrictions 24 hours a day, intense supervision, stuck at my freaking parents' house. Now, what am I supposed to do? That is bullshit. I went to bed last night, felt like my heart was just thrown outside, ran over by a freaking car, because, hey, I'm not the one that gets to see my son, the only thing that I wanted to do. I'm supposed to remain positive through all the crap that's going on in my life right now, but yet now I have another thing taken away from me, and it happens to be the most important thing that I cared about and they knew about. If I go to jail or I'm held without bond, he's gonna want to know where daddy is. He's gonna want to know, he's gonna ask, it's gonna come up. He's gonna know who his freaking daddy was. You know why? My dad died when I was 15 years old and taken from me in 6 fucking weeks. And I promised myself that if I ever had a kid, I was gonna give him everything, but I was gonna make him understand he's gonna work for it. I'm not gonna just give him shit, but I'm gonna make him a man. I'm not gonna give him what a man should have. Just give. He has to understand it or he won't value it. I maintain to try to stay positive and and the only thing I can do is live through work to keep my mind off of it, instead of going to the freaking bar and drowning my sorrows out, which would simply do nothing for me but throw me backward. All I care about is River knowing who his dad is and getting access to see my son. That's all I care about. I feel like my heart is eternal. It's external from my body right now. I feel numb. I hate it, man. I've never felt like this. I never wanted to feel like this, you know? I'm at the Bexar County Detention Center, downtown San Antonio. I'll be over here Friday for a bond revocation hearing for some allegations that they don't have to prove beyond preponderance evidence. Innocent until proven guilty, rather, we're all guilty until proven innocent. Throughout a lot of my life, I've hit adversity, but always remained positive, always had the motivation, always had the courage, always had the inspiration to stay strong, move forward, go, go, go. Consequences, I've taken them, I've paid for them. Yeah, I'm gonna be here Friday and looking at maybe not walking back out of these doors to the son that needs me. And the next time I may see my son is through freaking glass at 7 years old. He doesn't deserve that. But up until today, and up until I walk into that courtroom and throughout, I'll have to remain positive, because the negativity will only drown me. We were all put here to serve a purpose. To know that I understand that this is just another stepping stone in my life, another obstacle, another freaking flat tire that I will overcome. Wednesday, I think it was, yeah. And I had a bond hearing set for Friday, 10 o'clock a.m. That was set. It was a set date, so I was just out working, you know, like normal. We turned left on Highway 211 out here in Helotes, and I was just driving, and when I made that left and I was driving up the hill, and right between the two valleys, I could see a helicopter. It looked awful freaking low, man. I was like, man, that shit looks like it's on top of my mom's roof. The DEA says, what the fuck does it say? These motherfuck. And they have a DPS helicopter flying over my mom's house. There's like 15 fucking feds, cops at the bottom of the hill. Fuck that, I ain't driving into that. Did you see all this fucking vest? Oh yeah, they're hauling ass. Where's the cop? Dude, where's the helicopter? Follow right here, follow next to us on the left. What the fuck do they want? What the fuck are they there for? Who invited those motherfuckers in? Put them on the phone. Put the motherfuckers on the phone. And naturally, I called my mom, and my mom answered the phone hysterically, screaming. They had my mother backed up in a window here at her house at gunpoint to her face, and it was very devastating. Very devastating, and also very heart-wrenching for me to understand that I have to know that my mother got dealt like that and dealt that wrong card because of something that I allegedly or I was guilty of doing. These motherfuckers put a gun to my mom's head. I jumped out of the truck and put my hands on my head and on top of my head, and they were yelling at me, put my hands on top of my head, lay down, and I already was. Taylor popped the record button on his phone and had it in his pocket when everything was going down.
I will respect you. I will respect you. I will respect you. We will not disrespect you. Okay? You have to get down on the ground.
It was so surreal. I asked him who was disrespecting my mom, who was putting the guns at my mom's head. I wanted to know. Who put the fucking gun in my mom's head? That's what I want to know. Yeah, bullshit. Mike, any guns in here? What are you looking for? The gun? Somebody put a gun in my goddamn head. My mom exaggerating? Yeah. Oh, okay, exaggerating. You know, they came up on us, and of course they locked us up in handcuffs, and they locked Taylor up in handcuffs. I'm sure Taylor was probably thinking, wow, I'm shooting a film and now I'm in handcuffs. You know, great job. You know, when they threw us in handcuffs, everything was chaos and commotion. Everybody was coming in. All these different unmarked vehicles were coming in, and the gate, and, you know, had bulletproof vests, different color agencies, like as if I was a freaking Unabomber, man. You know, it's just horrible. You know, they held the gun in my mom's face when my mom called, 911 4 different times to be interrogated by no one else but other than the people on the scene. And no one showed up, of course.
I don't need a gun to my face. I called 911. You guys didn't respond. Sir, why didn't you come when I called 911? 911 in distress. I needed you. You were not here. No, they weren't. They weren't. Obviously, they have a gun in my face. Did I feel protected? I obviously felt threatened, or I wouldn't have called 911. I felt threatened. I was not safe. I was not protected. Your police officers did not protect me.
I would ask him the whole time if I could take my medication, my anxiety medication. Of course, it's racing at its all-time best, I'm sure now, right? And everybody promised me, yes. We'll go like that. We'll go by your house. We'll get it. And all right, cool, man. Appreciate it. Passed my house, didn't get it. And then all the way into the jail, man. Right when I walked in, they were gonna get me to see the nurse. I didn't get to see the nurse for probably 5, 6, 7 hours later. And I was yelling, screaming, demanding the nurse and whatnot, because I knew my anxiety was high and needed medication, and I couldn't calm down. They were trying to calm me down, but they were antagonizing, like they do in there. My sitting pulse rate was 168. I mean, that's heart attack material. Sitting, resting, so when they got that reading back on the monitor, they realized, crap, we better get this guy some medication like he's asking for. So of course the nurse asked me, what do I want? I told her it's not what I want, it's what I need, what I'm prescribed. They said they don't give out Ativan, it's a benzodiazepine. I've been on benzodiazepine for 20 years for anxiety. I was promised it during medication numerous times, 16 different times I want to say. And throughout the jail, throughout the magistrate, throughout the detention center, throughout the whole thing, I was misled. I was told that I was going to be seen by the nurse, and I wasn't. Just to find out that their own employees, the people in the jail, they know nothing about mental illness. Zero. They know nothing about it. When I asked the sergeant if she knew anything about mental illness, she said no. But I just hope that one day they do get the training, they do get the information and whatnot. So maybe they can better understand, maybe they can better facilitate that this is a very, very serious issue that comes in and out of not only life in general, but the jail, where they work on a daily basis. I do have rights in this country, and I will fight for them, and I will be right. I'll get my chance to speak about all this one day, and hopefully soon enough. So that's all I'm waiting for. You know, I've had to unfortunately put the brakes on pretty hard, and I was confined to the house by an ankle monitor, so, you know, temporarily. And with that being said, you know, it was like as if something was meant to happen. You know, I'm running 150 miles an hour out there, you know, on all angles, and trying to hit it and hit it hard and open up new things and finish old, and, you know, the whole 9 yards. And you know what? This was like a blessing to be sat down where I was confined to the house, sat down to where I had to get those estimates out. It is what it is. It is what it is. I was dealt this, and I got to play the cards that I have, and, you know, and I'm definitely not gonna fold. So it'll be it's gonna be an interesting long ride. Not one that I would like to bring and drag my family or anybody through, but one that I know that I'll triumph on the end. And this is where my freedom stops, right here. You know, this is where my freedom stops. I can't wait to be on that side so I can be the productive citizen that I am. Not the tax burden, but rather the taxpayer. Well, she doesn't have a name yet. I'm gonna let River name her. And River's wanted a puppy for a long time, and I wanted a puppy for him. Got some good news that River's gonna be, you know, coming around, and what better way than to start him with a little puppy that he likes and surprise him. He's getting a little bit older. My mom's already shown him pictures and whatnot, and he really likes her. And so it just symbolizes a new beginning, you know. Just one step at a time and one little dog at a time. Come on. There you go. There you go. There it is. There it is. One step at a time, baby. Come on. Come on.
I love her so much. She's so nice and kind. Bentley's helping my dad a lot. Bentley's a service dog, so she can go to cemeteries, wherever my dad goes. My dad has stress, and Bentley helps him with that, so she's very nice, helpful. That was that one I was telling you I want to figure it out real quick and haul ass. You know what I'm saying? Girl. See? Good girl. Good girl. You daddy's girl. I know. You know, daddy. Órale, bro. Yo te miro. Vámonos. I gotta go get the bobcat with Carlos. Come on. Come on, baby. I'll help you up. Come on, baby. Come on. Hey, come on, baby. Come here. I've been out here for a couple of days getting the form straight with the guys, and, you know, there's a lot of little changes that needed to happen, so I had to make sure that it got done. And today we're pouring concrete here, so you only get one chance to pour the concrete. So I like to be on the job sites, either myself or someone that I can really trust, to make sure and ensure that the job gets done with, you know, with quality, what the customer expects, you know, and what we promised. We only get one chance to do this, so we pride ourselves on quality and customer service. So, you know, this is part of the game. Everything that I do here, I do, you know, because
I like what I do, and I don't like work that's not acceptable. If work's not acceptable, it's coming out. This is what feeds my family. This is what puts shoes and food, on my kid. This is what put food on the table, and this is what allows us to drive and do some of the nice things in life that we like to do. So, in retrospect, I have to treat my work like how I want to live. The first night we got here was Saturday night, and it was nice getting cold. My mom was really worried. She's texting me, and you could see the hurt just through the text message because she wants to. She wants to. Make sure that I'm okay. When the one that you always reach out to in your darkest moments for the answers, or just for the verification that things are going to be okay, even though you're probably not, and even though she's not going to lie to you, it just seems to soothe your soul, right? Well, when she basically reached out to me, asking me if things were going to be all right, I can't tell her the answer because I don't know. So I have to tell her yes, just like she did for me. And I think, my mom's 64 years old right now. And at the time when she should be enjoying the fruits and labor of her life, all the hard work she did with raising a kid, her kids, grandkids, she doesn't be dealing with this shit. I could have gone to their house. I was welcome. The house is huge, 4,500 square feet on top of it. The mansion. I mean, people call it a mansion. But I didn't want to stay there because it's too comfortable. It's too comfortable. And I'm in a bad condition. I'm not in a bad condition, meaning like I have to stay here because I'm a drug addict. I fell on the street, or this. I took a dive. It's because situations with work called for measures where I had to go in or I had to go out. And the only person that can really go and get into like a mode of like just pure savage and get what it's got to do to get it done. Do you have to do anything you have to do to get it done? I do, and I will. I don't like to be the person that says, hey, I give in because I'm tired. And I don't like to be the father that says, hey, son, you know what? Yeah. It's not that I couldn't buy you that expensive truck or the monetary values of things. It's because we couldn't do something. We couldn't do something because Daddy couldn't work a little bit harder when we were right there at the verge of explosion where things were going to get better for everybody, right? But that's essentially all that I want. So, the truth is of the matter is it was freaking cold as hell in here. It really was.
You heading out?
Yes, sir, man. That's rodeo. Goodbye to this freaking place. You know what? It's been a blessing. And you know what? The other place is waiting for me, and I'm excited, man. It's the first place I'm gonna say that it's my own, even though I'm renting it until I figure out what I want to do. But it's my first place of my own since I got divorced, man. And the most exciting thing about this is that regardless if River's with me 4 days a month, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 20, he'll have his own room. When he comes to my house, he'll have his own room, man, That's all that matters. So, that way, down the road, buddy. So it's, I mean, basically like if you go to the doctor today because your foot hurts and you go to the pharmacy and you get a hand cream, you're not going to positively identify the marker. And I feel like my whole life I was fighting an imbalance I didn't know was imbalanced. Because what you're not supposed to learn that as a kid. It's a relief to know what you got, what it is, where, how it triggers it, what stems it, what's the cycles, and so the next time when it does it, you're not scared to death, man. This past 6 months, compressed down to what the past 4 years have been, it's been unbelievable. The impact that I've taken, punch after punch, and laid down so that I could hopefully find peace instead of continue to fight. Has been the hardest fight of my life because it's the first time I had to do it without my hands. Life is a constant train of events, and if it's not, you're in the wrong room or you're not learning and you're dying. So, although my life has been, up and down from just the chemical imbalance I was born with it, it's hereditary, I guess, or what they say or whatnot, but I was given it, whatever it means and whatever it is and whatever the imbalance is. But I have to deal with it the best that I can, and that's one day at a time. This diagnosis has taken me down many different paths. Good, bad, middle of the road, some dark, some light, but every single one of them had purpose. And every single one of them had a spot where it fit. And the true purpose of my existence. And I know now at 39 years old, I can honestly say that no doubt what I want to do moving forward today was the reason I was put on this earth, and that was to serve and give back to the kids so they don't make bad choices. If you can all relate to anything that's coming out of my mouth, know that you have a starting point. You do. Because I found it by backing into it, not by giving to it. Because we're on a movement. We're helping people. That's all we're doing is helping people, one at a time. So you have purpose. We all have purpose. We just got to find it. Dig deep sometimes. You got to figure out where you're at. Know where you're going. Pick up the next man that's fallen. Take him with you. Dominate. Hold hands and go together. We're much powerful.
I admire Mike because he has noticed such a significant improvement in his life. He's felt more balanced with his life. It hasn't been perfect. And because he's noticed this significant improvement, he's felt very passionate about sharing the message with other people that might be struggling and suffering just like he did for so many years.
I personally had to live the ultimate struggle of being chemically imbalanced from my young childhood to the second I stand before you. I was blessed by the Lord to stumble upon a doctor that is destined to change lives in mental health. She introduced me to a neurotransmitter test and a hormone test, which eventually led to 12 years of misdiagnosis. This ended with proper treatment being correctly diagnosed, but not before many incidents that landed me in the Bexar County Jail. This is something that I'm not very proud of at all. And I want to make a difference so you guys have a choice. Every choice you make, there will be consequences, and you will live with them. I feel it's my job to reach out, to let y'all know that there's direction. I'm a proud entrepreneur. I own 4 companies. It's my job to serve the man upstairs. It is my duty to give back to what he's asked me to serve, to the masses. Through my journey, through my story, and leading by example, guiding the unguided to a brighter life. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. No one is alone. We are all one. If anything we can do to help or support you, we have your back 100%. Thank you.
My dad's always here for me, and I'm always here for him. My dad will always he'll always say he loves me. He obviously appreciates me. I have a wonderful dad, and I'm happy that I had this dad and no other dad. Without my dad, I won't be here today. I would have never gotten into jiu-jitsu. I would never be right here today. I wouldn't have the sword. I always wanted a sword, but never thought I would be able to hold one until I did a tournament that my dad Raggett stirred me into, and I finally got a sword. I am proud of this sword and my medals.
You should be. You worked hard for them. And it was those things that you said, right, about the defeats. But what do we learn from the defeats? How to get better? And as long as you do what, I won't get mad. What?
Try my best.
That's it, man. That's all you can do. Dad's super proud. Super proud. Dad's super proud.
Struggle. Woo! Oh! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Atta boy. Fourth quarter. Get it, boy. Finish it. Bah! Got his ass. Keep him away from you.
I couldn't be more happy. I really couldn't. Like I say all the time, I'm extremely blessed. Extremely blessed. And, man, I have something that I never thought that was possible. It keeps me driving hard. You know what? But he doesn't need to know it. He'll know later on. All right, watch. Boom!
He's a grown man, of course he's gonna win.
No, when you don't win, you don't win, right? You don't give up. How do you lose if you don't quit? How do you lose if you don't quit? Man, you know what? When you ask me for a price for your slab, I only need 4 things. I only need 4 things. That's that number, that's that number, that's that number, that's that number, that's elevations. Everything else in the middle is the details, right? This is all that I hear going on in my head that's spinning like this, is you want just that price. But I have to give you that price with purpose. Right here is the only way that I can control my thoughts. This may seem a little crazy, maybe unconventional to some others, maybe many others. I have to say many others. But this works for me, and it's worked consistently over 21 years of being in business. You see it right here, right? It's the closest thing that you're gonna see. It's in that bullseye right there. And that bullseye happens to be my head that goes 285 miles per hour.
Well, I know this message isn't about one individual. The goal and the hope is to touch many people and to give people this type of treatment and an option for this type of treatment to help improve the quality of their life. Like I mentioned earlier, there is truly a crisis in behavioral health care. Unfortunately, there are not enough practitioners, licensed psychiatrists or therapists. There's a huge shortage in our nation. And the other downfall with behavioral health is that oftentimes insurance companies carve out that type of care and patients have a difficult time accessing that. And so I do know and I do understand that the challenge is big and sometimes it can be overwhelming. And again, my hope is that everybody that watches this video will know that one person's life was turned around, and there's hope for you to turn your life around. I would encourage you to find yourself a good functional medicine or a good integrative doctor to help guide your care and help guide your therapy. I think it would make a positive difference in your life.
There is a bullet in here that was directed for me that ended up in here, thank God. Once again, Mike Easter escapes. The tire takes the punishment. That could have been me. That could have been me right there, so easily. That was one shot out of the entire clip, so where the other 7 or 8 went, rather, I mean, who freaking knows? Could have been me right there. Could have been me. Keep moving forward. So I drove up to this gas station to do a transfer for my son on a deal, and I didn't really realize it. I drove right into the middle of an ambush. I mean, right into the middle of an ambush. And, you know, they didn't like what I said because I didn't have anything as far as monetary value to give them for one of their calls. And next thing you know it, we were in a shootout going down the highway. We're on a scene right now of the location where everything started the other day when we got into that shootout with those individuals that were in this parking lot. I'm actually pretty nervous right now because I'm looking around because the people have not been apprehended yet. So this was on Easter Sunday about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. The guys come out here, they kind of 90 me in, and make a long story short, they act like they were going to pull a gun. I said, pull the gun. I tried to take the attention away from my truck because my son was in the truck. They didn't know that my son was in the truck. So like I said, I'm sorry I'm being nervous, but they haven't been apprehended, and I don't want to get caught with my pants down here. So anyways, I got onto the highway, make a long story short, boom, 90 east going that way, not even a mile down the road. Boom, they dumped the entire clip on me. 9 rounds, 8 to 9 rounds, 1 hit. Shots fired, shots fired. I repeat, shots fired, shots fired. I'm not hit, I am not hit. I repeat, I'm not hit. I'm in route chasing the suspects that just shot me. Man, there's so much going through my mind and emotions going through my mind, but right now I have so much stuff going on in my life there. I have to stay, I have to stay level-headed, as hard as that is for me to do. Again, I'm just trying to stay calm, man. I'm just trying to stay calm because I've learned a lot about my own anxiety within the past 3 years and whatnot, and breathing is so important. And so I'm just breathing, I'm trying to take deep breaths, I'm breathing. Every time I talk about it, I get so fired up and amped out. Good girl. That's a good girl. Come on. Come on. That's great. Good job for you. So look, no matter what you're going through in life, regardless of the setbacks, regardless of the obstacles, regardless of the speed bumps and with the shit that you're going to hit, it's going to happen. It is. You got to keep moving forward. Watch this. You cannot go forward and continue with what you're trying to accomplish while you're looking backward. You can't do it. So some situations are going to be good, some are going to be bad. You know what? Take it and go. Keep going. Run. Don't stop. If you get knocked down, get back up and keep going. Period. How hard do you want to work? Because I can tell you right now, the phone is going to ring. Here's the phone. Ring. It's going to ring, Laura. You know what? We could put different things in plug. We could put a video. We could do marketing. We could digital marketing. We could do this. We could do platforms. We could do a landing page. You know what? But it is distracting us because we could do this, and Facebook now is full of that. And now Instagram's full of that. So social media is bomb now. It's not even fun getting on anymore. And the news is freaking pollution, and it's like the flu, and it doesn't stop. When people, he's all over the place. Well, yeah, maybe because he's not consistent with shit. You know what? I'm by myself, and for the first time, I'm by myself, Laura. I don't like being by myself because I've never had to be by myself. I mean, I've always had somebody at least that could take care of me, at least wash the clothes and put the deals because I got to go to work.
welcome. What is the reason for your visit today?
Just a lot of stuff going on with anxiety,
Okay.
just, neurology, and just trying to get down to the basics of it, just trying to get to the root of the problem as much as we can.
Okay. Are you having symptoms like numbness, tingling, weakness, spasms, anything like that?
Dizziness,
Okay. And how about alcohol?
recovering alcoholic.
Alright, and have you had an MRI of the brain before?
No, man.
No? Okay.
It's kind of scary,
Yeah.
especially when you have anxiety.
Exactly, that's not very helpful, right?
That's what the definition of anxiety is. You know what it is, right?
Yes.
Fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown, yep.
Well, all we can do is say a prayer and
Yep.
keep the demons out, right?
Exactly.
So, I've lived a pretty intense life of anxiety. A rather hard one. Sorry. I've always had anxiety. Now that I've lived it, I'm an innovator. I'm a conqueror. And I don't quit. And as hard as mental illness is, I failed to lose. I was misdiagnosed for 12 years. So I lived an up and down life for 12 years. I've had my own business. I've never worked for anybody else. So just go imagine those ups and downs and valleys of life of being an entrepreneur, along with the ups and downs and valleys of having mental illness. It's been a double struggle. And every year I've gone up and up. I give 200% in everything that I do, and I get 95%. And I don't understand why. And the only thing I can think of is because my mom has always been my saving grace. She's always been my rock I can talk to. And she said, I need God. It's my missing link. So I've been going to God. It's the only person else I can reach out to. And it's been helping a lot. It really has. I had a situation this year that got me very angry. I'm separated, going through some change in my life. So I've been putting off an MRI on the brain and all that for a long time because what do you have to do? Wait for the results, right? That anxiety, depression gets worse. It gets harder. And I still don't know what it is.
How did you deal with it?
I didn't. I just coped. And I didn't want to deal with it.
Did you ever turn to drugs or alcohol?
I did. Many a time. And that was my roller coaster. I had it so bad that I had to check myself into Charter-Real. Because I didn't know what was going on with my world. I didn't know. This past year's been year and a half actually has been, it's been a different pain through my journey of, mental illness up and down and whatnot. I was received the news that I had prostate cancer, and I tell you what, it hit me like a ton of bricks.
I never looked at life in that perspective before, because this is an illness that's terminal, you know, it very well could be. And I've seen many people die from this, and I always feared, you know, because with my real dad dying at 41, that I may have to go through something like that. And the biggest pain of all that was that I had to remember that River was going to have to experience that too, just like I did when I was 15 when my dad died. And I didn't want him to feel that pain. But when they gave me the pathology report, she handed me the report, and she had this look on her face, and I couldn't tell. I grabbed it and I didn't look at it. I grabbed it and I looked at her eyes, and I was trying to figure out before I even spec down what the report was going to say. And before I could even begin articulating what the words really were saying, because they were all jumbled up in doctor's terminology and whatnot, she said, "This should be the cure. We got all the cancer." I was so relieved. It was like a million elephants jumping off of my shoulders all at the same time. My outlook on life immediately changed, because I knew that my end wasn't coming, which I thought was a very good chance, and I had to prepare for that. I saw what it did to my dad. My dad was a strong man, and it took him out in 8 weeks. So these are the battle wounds. Got 6 spots. I'm happy with the scars. The blackness around them is super glue. They didn't staple them or stitch them, so it's super glue, so when that wears off. I'm 13 days out of surgery right now, and I have to limit myself on what I'm doing, because of I just want to be, you know, doing something like I always am, working and whatnot. So not being able to be hands-on has been a little difficult, but you know what? This time will pass as well, and I will be back on top of it. You know, it just happened. You know what? You're there at the doctor's office, and the doctor tells you straight in your eyes, you have prostate cancer. Man, everything becomes silent. Everything becomes silent. Everything. I don't think I looked at my phone, honestly, for 90 days. For 90 days, I think after I got that diagnosis, I just clammed up. I clammed up, and I had to fight. I had to fight, because everything was wanting to pull me down. And so I just had to ignore all the negative distractions. Yeah, so it's 13 days out of surgery from my prostate being removed, and man, we're already grinding out here on a job. You know, we have a loaded week. I think we have 3 jobs going today, 4 appointments today. So, you know, I feel just so blessed, so liberated. I feel so liberated, you know, that I'm able to just keep going. It worked out very nice. Just blessed, super blessed. It's amazing. It's amazing getting the news, you know, something like that, you know. Doctor coming in saying, this should be a cure, you know, you're cancer-free. Man, it gives me chills. It gives me chills, you know, because not knowing if you're gonna make it, and then, you know, you get the news that you're gonna survive, you know. It's like turning the light switch off and then turning it back on. But I'm blessed that I'm able to turn that light switch back on. And now I'm cancer-free. You know, the progress, you know, of seeing a job take form, you know, from the initial visit from the customer, you know, until, you know, you're in mid-phase and whatnot. It's you know, a direct replication of like myself, right? How I build myself, what I do, what are my habits, you know. So it's important to keep a good job site, a clean job site, a professional, you know, job site, one with purpose, because, you know, what these people see us for, you know, of us coming in and preparing for what we're going to end up with is a direct reflection of what they think is what they're going to get to, you know, expect in the end. You know, as well as my life, you know, if I know how this should be done, and I'm coming out here, and there's, you know, 3 guys short on poor day, I show up late, you know, and this and that. You know what? It shows me, guess what, Mike, you're not paying enough attention. So I'm able to use my work and the consistency with how I stay on track. When I look at this concrete and I see the little spots, you know, that are, you know, the sun trying to dry it out, it's wanting to speed up the curing process, and it's a direct image of how myself inside, so strong, but yet needs a cure. It needs a cure. So I understand that, the time that something takes to go through its life cycle. So when I see this, it's like looking into a mirror and I see myself. So I want it to be right. I'm not allowed to pick up more than 10 pounds, but I tell you what, I'll take it any day. It's just, hey, cancer-free, man. I just feel like I got an oil change, man. Next job. Let's go.
I love you, Dad. Are you having a good day? I am. I love you.
This story isn't just about one person. I know that there's so many people out there just like Mike that are struggling every single day. But I do want you to know that there is a light, and there are wonderful treatments that you can get to help and improve the quality of your life. And so I hope that this video and this information will bring you hope and a future.
This was something that millions of other people are experiencing right now at this moment. Don't know where to go because they feel like they're alone, and they're not. So this is just showing that, hey, you know what, guys, this isn't weird or abnormal or what you currently may be thinking, because you may be imbalanced, chemically or whatnot. But having the right direction is like having a map going on a road trip. And if you're given the wrong directions or you're given the wrong starting point, there's going to be a recalculating or a detour. It's going to take you longer to get there. I know most of y'all have been suffering long enough. It was 29 years old when I ran into an angel over there, Dr. Bernice Gonzalez, and she was able to regulate and align my body and what affects your your neurotransmitters, which affect your mood swings and all that stuff. Everything that you feel is triggered by a neurotransmitter, and if you have neurotransmitters that are out of whack, you're fighting against yourself. And so something small as vitamins or a change in diet fixes all of that, and you're living your best life. So there's no reason why anybody should suffer or think that they're alone. You're constantly hearing on the news and whatnot how the mental health rises, going up by a percentage, right? And you look at that percentage kind of like as a guide, and it's like the mental health since the pandemic has gone up like 69%. Yeah, that's a lot, but if you really think about it, 69% over the volume of the total number of people, that is a tremendous epidemic within itself here on the United States home front, driving people to psychiatrists and psychology, and all the pills and all the stuff that they're getting put on to get hooked on. And not to say that pills are bad, but I think there's a method to every madness, and I think that throwing a stick at it is not going to fix it. So having some outline, having some science, having some direction, having some general knowledge about what right now is affecting a lot of people with the mental health crisis, pandemic, and all the, the political situation. A lot of people are suffering even, and right now in the worst times. And it's just, if we don't put something in place where people know where to go to get an accurate start, so they have an outlook on where they're going, then we're just going to be continuing to build up a speed bump that's just going to continue to grow and grow. So we need to be able to get this message out to people, that neurotransmitting testing does exist, and that itself is huge. Neurotransmitter testing and a hormone balance. If those two are aligned, and it's the neurotransmitter test, it's a test that's been around since the 1930s. Nothing new, but very, very educational and very, very, very accurate. This is just one man's story. Just one. There are millions out there just like me. Good to finally see it all come together. Yeah, so this is it, man. This is it. This is it right here. All we can do from here is rinse and repeat, baby. So, hey, the process has been a long journey in life, always trying to improve. So, the day that I come out here and everything looks perfect, I'm gonna know something's wrong, So, just inspecting what I expect, guys. I remember laying down my first pad of concrete and all the struggles and all the things I've had to deal with my life, but they've all been a lesson. And I've been able to build off every single one of them, no matter how many times it took me down. I was able to get back up and get back going on the right direction. If you can think that there isn't a way up or a way out from the situation that you're currently in, or you're the only one, first of all, you're not alone. And guess what? There's always a better way. And storms don't last forever. You just got to keep marching on. Check it out. I've been down, I've been divorced, I've had mental illness, I've had struggles, I've had battles, I've had alcoholism, I've had drug habits, I've had rehab, I've had it all. You know what? But I never, ever gave up on myself. Never gave up on myself. This is what we have going over here, is a development that was an introductory package that I offered to get myself back up and let myself know that I can do this. I can do this, and I can do this better than ever before. And so right now I'm having a contest, and the contest is against myself. And you know what? This is going to be a good battle, because I never give up. I never freaking give up. And neither should you. Neither should you. Things are just getting, brighter and brighter. This has been an amazing journey, just being able to share all of this in a time, that a pattern that didn't, really extend to that long, only 5 or 6 years, and how you can go from, on top to back to nothing, come back, get cancer, bounce back from that, keep striving, go after a contract, but not any contract, a contract that I knew that was going to be very difficult to get. It invested some time, but at the time that I invested to get this job is a blessing. It's been a blessing. So reap hard, get what you want, strive for what you want, and don't settle. Just never settle, never give up, and just keep going.